An original married couple get adrenaline during conjugal games in a peculiar way. They have fun with different partners, until the husband gets into an accident, after which his entertainment goes to a new level. And as it turned out, the wife also gets more pleasure than before. How their family life has changed, and what such experiments have led to, you will learn in this retelling. At the beginning of the film, we see a hangar with planes. Catherine undresses to touch the flying machines. A stranger approaches her from behind. The couple decide to do it on the wing of the aircraft. The woman pats the man on the cheeks. She then lies down on the wing. The couple does it in the hangar. At the same time, a film is being shot on the site. One of the employees is looking for the film's producer, James Ballard. The hero has locked himself in a back room with his assistant. He actively helps the girl to relieve the tension. James is not happy that they have been disturbed. Later, James talks to his wife on the roof. The woman admires the view of the city. The husband admires Catherine's skirt. She tells her lover about her time at the aerodrome. The woman did not get a discharge. James helps the blonde to relax. At home, the hero makes notes in a notebook. Late at night, he gets behind the wheel. On the road, the man reviews his notes. A gust of wind scatters them around the cabin. The hero loses control of the car. There's an accident. The driver of the oncoming car wasn't wearing a seatbelt. A stranger went through the windscreen. He ended up in the passenger compartment, next to James. There was also a passenger in the car, Dr. Helen Remington. James glared at the woman's melon as she removed her seatbelt. In the next scene, James is lying in a hospital bed. A man has been injured in an accident. His wife is sitting beside him. She tells Ballard that the doctors are going to get the man back on his feet. The hero is sad about what has happened. In the corridor, James meets with Helen. The woman is not happy to see the one who caused the death of her husband. She passes by the hero. James is approached by a stranger in a white coat. It's Vaughn. The man examines James and asks him questions. Then he goes to his girlfriend. A short time later, Catherine describes the accident to her husband. She helps James relieve some of the tension. The couple talk about what happened. James is released from the hospital. At home, Catherine strokes his injured leg. The hero looks at the track through binoculars. The man wants to drive again. Catherine leaves for work. James goes to the impound lot to pick up his car. Helen has also come to get his car. The hero looks at what is preserved in his saloon. He notices Helen. A woman is standing by a neighboring car. James walks out to her. Helen says she can't find her husband's car. She touches the crumpled bonnet of his car. The woman does not allow the hero to touch her. The hero offers to give Helen a ride. On the road, they talk about the woman's work. She asks for a ride to the airport. The woman is smoking. The heroes notice that the traffic has become faster. Suddenly, a car pulls out in front of them. Helen helps her new friend to cope with the steering. She suggests James stop at the airport garage. The hero parked the car. He kissed the woman. Helen also wanted to release the tension. They had an active time in the car park. In the evening, the hero repeated it with his wife on the chair. In the next scene, Helen and James went to an interesting event. Vaughn told stories of cars whose drivers had died. The heroes followed the show closely. The stuntmen got into the cars to reenact James Dean's fatal accident. The cars collided. One of the stuntmen got out of the car. The character wondered if the men were okay. The presenter put the microphone to his mouth. He finished the story. The police arrived at the scene of the staging. All the participants in the event hurriedly went into hiding. Vaughn helped his colleague to the car. Helen and James followed them. The stuntman hit his head during the staged accident. Vaughn was driving his friends home. The man was impressed with his own show. He petted his neighbor. Helen relaxed. James watched the couple. The friends arrived at the stuntman's house. There were women waiting for them there. Vaughn came up with a new production for the show. The man described his idea to those present. Gabrielle laughed. Ballard watched everything in surprise. Vaughn asked the hero for help. He took James to his workshop. The man showed his new friend pictures of Gabrielle's woman after the accident. In the album was Ballard himself. Gabrielle entered the room. She offered the friends a smoke. Vaughn told James about his project. The next day, Catherine was talking to a woman in her husband's office. She was engrossed in the conversation. James was watching them. Later, the man and his wife drove out of the car park in their cars. At the traffic lights, the heroes were caught up with Vaughn. James noticed his friend. The cars continued on their way. Vaughn behaved aggressively on the road. Catherine was nervous. At the petrol station, she took a sharp right turn. The man followed her. James drove in between their cars. The hero got out of the car to talk to his friend, but Vaughn drove off. At home, Ballard and Catherine were relieving the tension. The woman thought about how Vaughn was having fun with women in his car. The heroine wondered if Ballard would like intimacy with his friend. Dirty talk was something the woman enjoyed. In the next scene, Helen and James were having fun in the car. The woman was telling her friend about who she was doing it with in the car. Later, Vaughn's company was preparing for a new production. Helen asked her friends to rewind the film. The video player was malfunctioning. Gabrielle suggested watching another tape. She thought her friend would be interested in the details of the accident. However, it was the story that Helen wanted. James thought her friend was unwell, but she just wanted to relax. Helen made Gabriella feel good. The hero helped relieve Helen's tension. Vaughn and James drove the Lincoln. The man had always wanted to drive a car after the accident. They talked and almost got into an accident. Vaughn showed Ballard pictures of accidents for the next show. The friend stopped near the blonde girl. Vaughn wanted to have fun with the girl in the car. He asked James to drive. In the rearview mirror, Ballard watched his friend and the blonde. Vaughn was actively spending time in the back seat of the car. Catherine arrived to pick up her husband. She told James about the accident at the airport. At that time, a policeman was talking to Vaughn. The man looked distressed. Catherine watched Vaughn. He took off his t-shirt. The woman saw scars on his body. It intrigued her. James got behind the wheel. On the way, friends saw an accident. Vaughn was excited. He asked Ballard to slow down. The man wanted to take some pictures. Catherine got out of the car. She lit a cigarette. The heroine sat down next to a woman who had been injured in a car accident. Vaughn approached her. He decided to give his friend's wife a photo shoot at the wrecked car. James watched them. After a while, the friends got into the car. James got the car dirty. Vaughn offered to wash the car near the airport. While the car was being washed, Catherine suggested that her husband's friend relax. They did it in the back seat of the car. James wanted to see everything in the mirror. The next day, Gabrielle and James went to a car dealership. The girl liked the car. A consultant approached them. Gabrielle asked the man to help her get into the salon. James got into the car too. The girl's foot got stuck. The counselor helped her through the situation. The friend put her palm on Ballard's leg. The counselor was nervous. He accidentally removed the prosthetic from the girl's leg. Later, in the car park, James wanted to get a closer look at his friend's scar. They did so in the car. Ballard drove to the film set. The man got a call from Vaughn. He wanted the friend to come to him. Vaughn was sitting in the tattoo artist's chair. A woman was giving him a tattoo. He was surprised that the work was neatly done. Vaughn suggested that Ballard decorate his scar with a tattoo too. The men enjoyed the result in the car at the junkyard. Vaughn watched the man. He started the car. Vaughn drove into the car in which Ballard was sitting. The hero was relieved. The next day, James watched the flow of traffic on the motorway. Catherine approached him. She informed her husband that her car had been damaged. The hero examined the car. He decided that the dent was made by Vaughn. In the evening, the couple went to look for a friend. James was surprised that there were few cars on the road. Catherine suggested that her husband go back. At that time, Vaughn was sitting in his car. The man decided to go for a ride. At high speed, he broke into the traffic flow. The man caught up with the friend's car. Vaughn started ramming into them. Ballard was nervous. Failing to control himself on the wet road, Vaughn flew down the motorway. It was later taken to an impound lot. Gabriel and Helen went to the impound lot. The women wanted to relax in a friend's car. James and Catherine also came to the car park. They wanted to take Vaughn's car. The guard gave the hero some papers. The man advised to get rid of the car. It was in a bad condition. A while later, James took the Lincoln. He and his wife decided to play the same game Vaughn had played with them. Ballard caught up with his wife. He started ramming her car. At some point, Catherine lost control. Her car went into a ditch. The hero stopped his Lincoln. He went down to his wife. Catherine's convertible had flipped over. The woman was lying on the ground beside the car. Catherine regained consciousness. Heroes got busy at the scene of the accident. That was the 1996 film Crash.